Welcome along to EXFL Tier 2 Season 9. We are here for the finale, round 22 out of 22 at Yas Marina, Abu Dhabi. 18 minutes ahead of us for one final qualifying session of the season. 17 drivers as Morgan joins in quali. 18 minutes ahead of us, and then a 29 lap race to see out the season. And we will take you through every driver so far and the standings and whatnot. It's just making sure final checks are all good. Should be dry for quali in the race. It is Abu Dhabi after all. Right then, Laser Gamer in the Ferrari. Back from a race ban. Hopefully one more incident that's his fault. And unfortunately that would see him past the total. But hopefully he can get some more points on the board. I mean, it's going to be a fight today for a lot of people who can maybe fight for points because they got more people to try and overcome. Frosty Life, solid season so far for him. Probably not as many points as he would have wanted, but still quite high up there in the standings. And I'm sure next time around he will be looking for more. We'll go to the bottom there. Out of Chubster has had a pretty good season considering this is his rookie season as he exits the pit lane. We got Ridian in the Red Bull going backwards. So yeah, I found out as long as you're technically going forwards on the racetrack, forwards or backwards, you don't get disqualified. It's only if you go backwards, actually backwards on track. And it's not really being too much of an incident because they're ghosting. They're just having fun. It's the finale, of course. So yeah, in the Red Bull, Ridian will do the final race of the season. We've got Christian, who's been scoring some pretty decent points as of late in the McLaren as he rounds the final corner to begin his lap. We've got Bluey reserving in the Haas car, hoping to see the season off with potentially one more points finish. We've got Lee, hoping to just gain momentum at this rate. He's been looking better and better since his return. We got Marine, for the first time in quite a while. He was doing really well in Tier 2 last season. Went to Tier 1, didn't really do that much, had to leave. Couldn't really do the races. Is back tonight on controller. So we'll see what difference that makes as he reserves in the Ferrari. We've got Nathan, one of the two Astons, in 11th. Has scored some pretty solid points this season. I'm sure he can be happy with his performances. And I'm sure he would like to end it with one more top 10. We got Josh, in the Sauber, making one of his few appearances this season, but glad to see him here for the finale. We've got Eggy, one of three drivers fighting for fourth in the drivers' standings. Eggy, who's had a pretty solid season with a lot of podiums and a lot of consistent drives and points finishes. Small Nick, one of the other three, who took fourth after Qatar last week and is currently the favourite to hold on to it, as well as Drifting, the final driver of those three. Does he have wing damage on his left-hand side? It did look like that. I think he does. He does. Anyway, 5 points separates them. Drifting, Eggy and Nick. It's Nick ahead of Eggy, ahead of Drifting, I believe. Quickly double check. Right, no. So Nick on 165, Drifting on 163, and Eggy on 160. So 5 points separates those lot. Who am I missing out then? Oh, of course. The two Alpines and the two RBs. So, like I covered with Drifting, he's got his work cut out for the drivers. But also, there is still one title yet to be decided out of the four that EXFL offers in Tier 1 and Tier 2 with both drivers and constructors. Tier 1, Season X champion, Red Fire Tiger. Season 1, Constructors champion, Williams. Season 2, Tier 2, Season 9, Tier 2 Season 9 champion was crowned last week in the form of X3BDV1. Seb became the 9th Tier 2 World Champion, securing it with one race to go ahead of Oren, who's going for the record tonight. 8 Grand Prix victories he's currently had in EXFL Tier 2. No driver has ever scored 9, and that's his goal for tonight. But back to RB versus Alpine. Seb obviously winning the championship last week. His teammate Josh Hewitt along for the ride. They have to outscore the Alpine of Morgan and Drifting by 17 points. Simple as that. Alpine lead by 17 points ahead of RB. If RB can outscore them by 17 or more, they can snatch away the title at the last round. But Alpine have been leading it for quite a lot of this season, and I'm sure they're going to try and hang on to it as very best as they can. But with a lot of drivers, and any small mistake could turn into a bigger one because of this kind of race. But yeah, that is a 6 of the quali already done. At the moment, we've got Small Nick on provisional pole by over half a second ahead of Josh Hewitt, who has done pretty well around here, as Oren splits the two to go just under 2/10 behind Small Nick. So very nice lap from the Williams, who has never scored a pole in EXFL Tier 2. Most wins without one. Currently of 4. Still awaiting Seb to do a lap time as he heads through turn 5 on an outlap. I'm sure he'll be right up there. 10 poles to his name so far this season. It's a weird looking background when they exit turn 5. It's all misty and pixely. Hope everyone who's watching is having a good evening and hoping they're looking forward to a good qualifying race. Nick enters the pit lane, done with his run. Can't obviously forget the amazing result that RB, formerly AlphaTauri, got last season. Josh Hewitt and Seb, they got the 1-2. They were 40 points behind Haas for second in the Constructors, and they beat them. So anything can happen. They're obviously trailing, well, it's a bit less than 40 points they're trailing for second. This time, they're 17 points trailing for first with 17 drivers. So, let's see what the world champion can do then. Has driven a remarkable season. The only driver in EXFL history to score more than 17 podiums in a single season. And tonight, he's going to try and make that 18 as he begins his lap at Abu Dhabi into turn 1, heavy braking zone, down to gear 4. A little bit of a slide as he gets the power on through turn 2 and 3. Easily flat. But it's how much time you can try and take out and how much curb you're willing to put the car on before it bottoms out and takes you over. Finishing the first set to 17.6 into turn 5. Really easy to lock a front or even get caught on that curb on the outside that can send you a bit wider. DRS wide open as he blasts the battery, which is also going to be a really crucial thing of how much you use depending on where you are in the lap. Probably the heaviest braking zone of the entire track into the chicane that joins the two straights together. It's going to be an interesting one. Most tracks are, if you're second on the last lap, or at least on this game, you will win if you're close enough to first. But this one might be a bit different because of 2 DRS straights you have to go through. Round turn 9 as he finishes the second sector split. He's looking good. And he might just dip it into the 1 minute 22s if he can keep it together in the final sector or keep it valid. That was very close as he makes his way through the most technical parts of the racetrack, keeping it just about valid through the third last corner, through the penultimate. A Ferrari in front of him shouldn't be a bother. One final corner to go for the world champion. And across the line, it's going to be a 22.899 to put himself back on where he has been so comfortable this season. Provisional pole. So at the moment, RB looking good with their qualifying order. Morgan in 5th and drifting yet to set a lap. Crosses the line, goes 12th. So I believe he must have made a mistake. 3.5 seconds off. He'll go again. And I believe what Josh Hewitt did was on mediums, like he's done so many times. It was. Okay. And so was Oren. That's very interesting. And so was Ridian, actually. Not bad. Wow, it's cold. Marine, P10 at the moment. I believe he was up on his time. He might still be going for his lap. Finishes the middle set split. He is still going as he's 7.5 tenths up. But he needs that just to be within a second of provisional pole, which would get him up to 6th. So let's see how much time he can find in the middle. Obviously, I remember drifting lost a bit of his end plate when he was doing his first run. So that's why he's probably not been able to do a time properly. Anyway, Marine just keeping it valid. That's the corner you're all going to have to watch. Could be make or break, but with one final corner to go, let's see what the Ferrari can do. Crosses the line, 23.9 to put himself P6, 4 thousandths in front of Ridian's medium time. So we still got Lee yet to do a lap time, halfway through his lap at the moment. Nathan's still in the pit lane. Josh, I think, has just maybe begun a lap. As we see Oren beginning another run on the medium compound tyres. Flying into turn 1 then. History could be made tonight. A lot on the line. Oren looking for a record-breaking 9th win. RB versus Alpine, fighting for the 9th EXFL Tier 2 Championship in terms of constructors, as well as Nick, Drifting, and Eggy fighting for 4th in the drivers. So yeah, lot to play for, and I'm sure it'll be a very interesting and exciting race. All the way down to the wire, 29 laps to go as Nick has invalidated. As Josh Hewitt puts his car to make it a RB12 at the moment, as I believe Small Nick, yeah, invalidated maybe his 2nd run. So that's huge. If RB get a 1-2, we're ignoring fastest lap at the moment, 43 points. Alpine would need, well, 26 points. And if you think about it, that's a 3rd and 4th. 3rd and 4th is 27. So if RB can do what they did last season, that is going to be huge in terms of how much points they can gain on Alpine. And, whoa, Marine. Alpine of Morgan and Drifting. But they've done it once. They can do it again. As Oren splits the two with another medium run. So watch out for Oren. Looking to get his 9th pole as well of the season. I think. Probably. But yeah, that's been the story all season. Seb versus Oren. And when Seb has needed Josh at times, not many points scored this season for the RB driver, but he's here tonight in Abu Dhabi to make sure he's done the bare minimum and they can still win it. But there's going to need to be a really strong performance. I think his biggest issue he needs to resolve is his time penalties, the amount he gets in a race, because his pace is strong, his finishing position is strong, but the penalties are what lets him down. It's very close between 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Big gap behind a 5th. Eggy went up to 6th with that lap. Marine currently 7th. Ridian, believe he's just started his soft run. So has he found any time in the first sector? He's down by nearly a 10th. Laser up in 9th at the moment. Still up on his time as the Red Bull gets out of his way. I believe that was Frosty Life. Jubster going into turn 5 at the moment. His teammate Josh invalidated in P14 at the moment. Drifting still in the pit lane. We're still waiting for Nathan to set a lap time. Oren finally in the pits. Look, Niels. He's Dutch, alright? I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Margarine? Marine? I don't know. So I'm just going to go with Marine, alright? As, oh, that's really unfortunate for Josh. Try and get him back in. So Bluey exits the pit lane with 4.5 minutes to go. Nathan's still in the pits. We've got Laser up in P5 after finishing that lap. Really solid stuff on the Ferrari driver. Ridian ended up not completing the lap. Still in the pit lane. Chubster ended up invalidating his lap. Frosty's still on the mediums. An array of different scenarios at the moment. Yeah, I don't know, alright? I don't know. Send a voice note, I don't know. And apparently Ridian held Lee up. Hence why he's still 13th. But yeah, this is very close. I'd say these four are in the fight for pole. Josh Hewitt hasn't had a pole all season. Or a win, let alone a podium. So, let's see what he can do. I think his best finish this season, maybe 6th. So he may not even have had a top 5. Laser's still out there. With 3.5 minutes to go. Don't know why. He's just done another lap as he's just gone off. So he better hurry up to the pits very quickly. Otherwise he's not going to be able to go for another run. Chubster, he should be able to get back in the pits. He's fine. Everyone else in the pit lane. So, the stage is yours, Bluey. Round the final corner. Across the line in the Haas car. Into turn 1 then. Remember, he's on controller. And he has been around, on average, about 4-ish seconds off the pace. As that is a line that I don't think many are going to take for the rest of this qualifying session. But I think he's trying his best. Look at that, he's trying to get a little bit of slipstream from the Ferrari. Finishes the first sector, a couple tenths down. And did Laser make it? No, he's still halfway through the lap with 2 minutes 40 to go. I do not know if he's going to be able to go again. The calm before the storm. We're watching Bluey do his lap before literally everyone else does theirs. They're all exiting the pit lane to gear up for their final run. Nathan on an out lap, still yet to do a time. Ridian, Marine, Morgan. The top four still in the pit lane. Has he found any time? Yes, he's up by just over a tenth, is Bluey, in the middle sector. But he's going to need to find another 1.5 to even beat Drifting, who I'm sure will go even quicker. So there we go. Seb's heading out. Josh is just in front of him. There's Nick. Oren has just exited his box. Yeah, Laser. 1 minute 23 second lap time. You've got 30 seconds to get in and out. I do not think he's going to have enough time. That is it for Laser Gamer. 5th at best. But I'm sure others will be able to beat that. Let's see. But Bluey invalidated, I think. So he might stay where he is. Nathan has just began his final qualifying lap of the season. So let's see what he can do. As Bluey pulls off just about on the inside of turn 3 as Nathan finishes the first sector split. It's a 17.8 heavy braking into turn 5. Climbing up the gears, putting on the traction. Full throttle. It's going to get a little bit of a slipstream from the Mercedes. Of what? Eggy. So Eggy cuts across. Bounces over the curb, which has sent him a bit wide. Managed to keep it valid because I think he was going slow enough. As the rest begin their laps. Josh Hewitt has just started his final flying lap. Seb coming around the final corner to begin his. Then Small Nick. And then Oren just in front of him. And then Eggy and Chubster. So Eggy will probably be the last one to cross the line. There goes Oren round the final corner. So Josh Hewitt is down slightly in his first sector. What about Seb? Has he found any more time? Of course he has. So Oren embarks into turn 2. Small Nick into turn 1 as well. The shootout between these four for pole position in the final race of the season. Oren has also found some time. Well, Small Nick finishing the first sector split 2. He's also up. So, oh my god, there's a Ferrari in the background spun. Josh Hewitt, he's got to really find the time here in the middle sector. He's still down slightly. And he's got a Mercedes in front of him. So what about Seb? Up slightly in the first sector. Has he found even more time in the middle sector? Yes, nearly a tenth and a half as he makes his way into the final sector. What about Oren then? 68 thousandths up in the first sector. Has he found any more time? Yes, 2.5 tenths up in the middle sector. And Drifting goes P2 right at the end. And Nick is up fractionally. So it's Josh Hewitt gets back on the front row. And we await to see Seb extend his margin. But is it going to be Seb? Or is it going to be Oren? Or could it be Small Nick? Seb crosses the line to extend his advantage. And the story of the season, Seb versus Oren for one final time. Is it going to be the RB? Or is it going to be the Aston Martin? Across the line for Oren. Oren by 3 thousandths has taken pole position in the season finale. As Nick crosses the line to be 5th. Right at the end, Oren by the slenderest of margins has made it close like it has been for 22 races, and right at the end Oren has got pole position. What a qualifying to see out the season as Nathan crosses the line in 15th. Wow. And that kind of just puts the whole season in perspective. Oh, 4 thousandths, whatever. Wow. Well, we've had some close qualies over the last couple seasons. These two included Imola, for example. They were literally 1,000th apart. And come Abu Dhabi, 4 thousandths. So, in terms of Alpine, Morgan is down in 12th. As Drifting, a very impressive 4th. To get his car, and Ridian, to get their cars up there. And Eggy as well. So Eggy, Drifting and Nick all quite near each other for the fight for 4th. But Oren, he could be the one that stands in RB's way. But Morgan's got it all to do as well from 12th. What a race we have in store. After such a close qualifying, looks like Oren and Seb are going to fight again. Josh Hewitt going to try and stick with them. But with more drivers tonight, potential for safety cars could emerge. I'm going to quickly change my batteries. Right, here we go then. Final setup adjustments, confirming their strategy and fuel loads. Telling themselves, this is it. This is the final race. 22 of 22. There's still the Constructors' Championship to be decided tonight. 29 laps left of the season. 29 laps ahead of us. This is the EXFL Tier 2 Season 9 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The finale under the lights. And it's lights out and away we go in Yas Marina. Oren versus Seb off the line. And Josh Hewitt trying to go around the outside of his teammate into turn 1. Seb and Oren make slight contact as through goes Josh Hewitt on the pair of them. And Oren just gets run out of road. And Oren gets tagged by Seb. They make contact and Oren flies down the order because of it. Massive crash there for Small Nick as well. Chaos on the opening lap as championships get blown wide open again. RB 1-2, drifting 3rd, Morgan up to 7th, Oren and Nick down in 16th and 17th, Ferrari 5th and 6th, as they're all trying to slow down because of illegal overtakes. I think Oren 10-second for ignoring yellow flags. It's all kicking off because I think there's a lot of illegal overtakes and stuff, and that's going to cause a big gap to the top 5, and they're all trying to pull off chaos, absolute chaos. As Marine decides to go off track, lets them go, and I think there's still things yet to be decided. And you can see Morgan's 13 seconds behind after only 1 lap. And the VSC will end, and we don't know who's going to have drive-thrus and penalties and such, but I've never seen an opening to a race like this. It looks like they've all managed to sort out their illegal overtakes and stuff. They're getting on with the job. But the damage has been done. The top 5 are going to be the top 5 for quite a while. Josh Hewitt then leads the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix ahead of Seb. This is exactly what they need. But drifting is there to pick up the points for Alpine in 3rd. Eggy and Laser Gamer are along for the ride. 8 seconds is the time they lost to Morgan, who's made a brilliant start up to 6, I must add, though. The biggest gainer of the lot, biggest loser at the moment. Oren unfortunately down to 12th with a penalty as well, and he's making up moves to the inside, trying to get past Frosty but can't quite do the job. Wow. So Chubster on the hards, Frosty on the softs, Marine on the hards, everyone else on the mediums. Ridian changing his front wing, Nick also changing his front wing, he got caught out there, and yeah, big moment. Only the second time we've seen Seb and Oren actually make big deciding contact, once in Mexico when it mattered, as Laser Gamer is now going to find himself in a bit of no man's land with a spin. Chubster and Morgan fighting over the curb. Goes the Alpine, but Chubster gets in front. And Oren still trying to fight with Frosty, blasting his battery in the slipstream of the McLaren, trying to get up into the points now. And he's going to have to hope for a safety car to serve that 10-second and still be in the fight. Round the outside goes the second place driver in the championship. Can he make the move stick on his teammate? Brilliant stuff from Oren to get himself past 2 cars. And I don't think Nathan put up too much of a defence, but he has put a big defence on the McLaren, who's now lost a place to Frosty Life. And Oren finds himself up in 9th, drifting really close to Seb, who's falling away from Josh. 1.5 seconds. If he wants to give his teammate the win, he's doing just that. And it might be strategical because he knows he has the pace to gain the gap when he needs it. So he's keeping Josh in front there, and it's not that bad of a strategy call from the world champion. Drifting, slightly tapping Seb there a bit. Is he going to go cowabunga like he did in Italy? Down the inside on the RB. He's using all his battery. So is Seb. because he knows Eggy's also on the attack. Is Eggy going to try a double overtake on the pair of them? 3 wide into the end of the straight. Eggy backs out. Pretty smart of him to do so. They remain wheel to wheel. Do Drifting and Seb slight contact. Now Seb has the momentum to stay in front. Eggy still with a bunch of battery if he needs to. But Drifting has the DRS this time. And Eggy's not fighting it. Seb's still there with him, using his battery wheel to wheel between the pair. Seb breaks late to the inside. Drifting hangs it round the outside. Still battles going through the field. They remain wheel to wheel. As this time round, looks like Drifting's just in front of the RB, who's switching to the inside. He's still fighting for it as they still go wheel to wheel. Seb trying to edge him out on the inside, but Drifting's still there for the attack. Seb round the outside. Can he keep on the track? Yes, he can. And Seb, out of it all, has stayed in front. What a battle between the pair. And they will finish lap 3 as they started lap 2. As they started lap 3, whatever. Laser, out of all that, has still gained a second. Morgan has gained quite a few because of it. He's got Chubster and Lee and Oren close, but rapidly gaining on them. What's happened to Christian? He's fallen even further down. He's under pressure from Marine. Lee, time penalty. As is Christian as well. We got a yellow, and it's Ridian. Spun around. Lost both end plates somehow. And Smolnik going quite slowly there. He's got a yellow light as well. Does anyone else have that? Nope, just him. As Drifting fights Seb once again for P2. Gets in front of him. Don't know why there's yellows. But yeah, Chubster gets back in front of Morgan. And down the inside, Lee is also trying to get in on the fight. And he ghosts, luckily, as sliding is Morgan and Chubster as Morgan loses it. And that's one of the Alpines very much in the walls. And for some reason, he's just not deciding to put the throttle on as he drops further down the order because of it. So that could be one Alpine out of it. Yeah, it looked like Nick left the session there. Disaster for Small Nick, who's trying to fight for 4th in the standings. His 2 rivals, Eggy and Drifting, currently 3rd and 4th. As Eggy has managed to find his way past the Alpine. And this is huge for RB. One of their biggest and closest rivals, Oren, once again just not having the opening lap he wanted. And contact between him and Seb at this very corner sent him around. And also has a 10-second. As Seb, 3 seconds nearly behind his teammate. Allowing Josh Hewitt to just stay in front. As there's Ridian. Getting lapped as Eggy flies past Seb up into 2nd now. So there we go, Smolnik's back. He's going to need a big race to come back from this. Lee, Oren and Chubster fighting for 6th. As Morgan finds himself in the pits in P15. As we have a yellow of Ridian just getting out of the way. Seb back up in a 2nd. Round the outside of Eggy, leaving him the space. Great move from the world champion. And Laser Gamer still lacking about 4 seconds as Oren finds himself already up in 6th. What a comeback it's been from the Aston Martin. As going off the track there is Lee, losing the rear a bit. Falling under pressure from the Saubers. I'm sure it'll be those 2 fighting, and I'm sure Oren will try his best to pull away from the 2 behind. Very level battery as Chubster goes off there. Starting lap 6. Seb still in front of Eggy, still in front of Drifting. We haven't had many safety cars but across the season, but there's still plenty of time for one. And that could still flip the race in a 180 into the pits already. Frosty just about entering it, right? On the softs, only after 6 laps. We'll take those off. Nathan's still currently running in the points as well. Good on him. Josh Hewitt fighting Bluey. Oh, wait, no, that's not him. He's still not in the race, is he? So he'll get disqualified. Bluey's fighting an AI car then. Anyway, let's look to the front. Single file between the 3. Seb losing the rear slightly. Chubster and Lee fighting. As you can already see, Oren is nearly a 2nd clear of these lot. And he's going to hunt down Laser Gamer for 5th. Eggy using a lot of battery this time to get past Seb. It's not something you often see from Eggy using battery this early. But he's still fighting it out with the RB. Wants to EB potentially unbelievably, if he could, win an EXFL Tier 2 Grand Prix. And he's really getting in the fight between the RBs. And he's closing the gap down to Josh. And I'm pretty sure that was the plan for RB. Let Josh get out in front, not make mistakes. Then Seb has the pace to deal with these guys, pull away, and secure a 1-2, which would mean the Constructors' Championship, with Morgan not scoring any points at the moment, and Drifting only scoring 12. Remember, they have to outscore Alpine by 17 points. A 1-2 finish, with Drifting even third and fastest lap, would be enough. Oren, Chubster and Lee get past Lazo's already into the pits after only 7 laps on the mediums, which is interesting. So yeah, Oren exactly 10 seconds off these guys with a 10-second time penalty if it wasn't already hard enough for the Aston. But yeah, one safety car, you can serve that. And Nick again has unfortunately left the session. What looked like P4 in the championship, pretty safe and not under threat, considering how many points he's been gaining on these guys. Big threat now, considering Eggy and Drifting are stepping up. But Seb back in front of Eggy. Ridian just watching the show unfold as Drifting's finding a gap to the inside. But he can't quite get the move done on the Mercedes. Pretty similar battery levels for the three of them. And Josh Hewitt, who's driving a very nice race at the moment. Hasn't had a pole, hasn't had a win. That's a warning. Hasn't had a podium. Hasn't even had a top 5 this season, I don't think. But he is currently leading one of his favourite tracks and most successful ones at that. 8 laps in then. As Ridian trying to unlap himself. And it's in his right to do so, because if there is a safety car, as Seb's trying to avoid him, if there is a safety car, Ridian's got to make sure he tries to unlap himself, and he is near the pack. And that is going to give Seb DRS though. We have a yellow. Laser Gamer has crashed, and that is a safety car. He's crashed where Latifi's gone off. Lost his whole wheel, and that is the season over for Laser. But we do have a safety car, which is going to, once again, flip the race 180. 20-odd laps. All the medium runners are going to have to put the hards on and go to the end. Frosty Life gets a time penalty under safety car. And, well, it's glad it came... Well, Oren's going to be glad it came than instead of it never coming, because it could have came right at the end or whatever. But Oren's going to be able to serve that 10-second, which, if he's lucky, might just get him in front of Marine, or round about where Marine and Nathan are. So Oren is right back in this. It looks like it was a collision between Nick and Ridian that sent them around. Shit, not that. Speaking of which, are the RB's going to double stack? There seems to be a big enough gap, and it's not like Seb's holding them up massively as they enter the pit lane. So they should just about get away with it. Eggy's really close though, and actually makes slight contact with the RB. But it's going to be close. Eggy may jump Seb because there's always a slight delay. And they're still working on Josh's car, and there's the delay. So it's going to be close. There's Eggy exiting the pit lane. Is he going to get past the RB? I think he's just behind. Yeah, as Lee stayed out. RB Mercedes, RB Mercedes. So Josh exits the pit lane. Lee yet to pit. Seb still in front of Eggy, still in front of Drifting. Chubster. Oren serves his 10-second. Is in front of Marine. As Nathan pits as well. Christian stays out. Josh still not in the race. He'll get disqualified. Don't know how Lucas has lost it there. Just maybe a loss of traction, a correction. Whatever the case. Yeah. Wow. So, yeah, because the leaders pitted, did Ridian do the smart thing? Yes, he did. He stayed out so he can unlap himself. And maybe he can get back in this race if he hurries it up. Why is Marine ahead of Oren now? Okay. some stuff's happening here. Somehow Christian's up there now. Ahead of Oren, ahead of Marine. So these three are in their order, but Christian for some reason is now up to 7th. And apparently it's his Wi-Fi that's allowing Small Nick to unfortunately have the race he's having. But yeah, crazy race. 9 laps in, we've lost Laser Gamer, who's caused the safety car. Oren's now dropped to 10th. What's going on? Marine goes off the track this time, I think, to let him properly bite. As we look to the leaders, of course, Lee is still on the medium. Oh, he's got damage. Surely he should pit this lap, no? Yeah, he is. Don't overtake the safety car, Lee. You're going to get disqualified. Yep. Yep. You just knew that was going to happen. Well, that's unfortunate. Really unfortunate. It's just game knowledge, and he didn't know. Got to slow down. Make sure your car's not ahead of the safety car heading into the pit lane, because it's not going to give you enough time. It's the same as overtaking and Delta and stuff. It's always been like that, unfortunately. It's never happened before because you've never tried it before. You've never been at the front enough for that to happen. So, Josh Hewitt then leads, still in front of Seb. Eggy third, drifting fourth, and Chubster arrives on the scene now with Christian with 13 seconds of time penalties, and Oren right back in the fight. Marine 8th, Nathan 9th, Josh in his ghosted car 10th. Technically Bluey is now 10th. Morgan is back in the fight. Technically he is 10th because of the 3-sec. Frosty 13th, Small Nick, if he can maybe join back. You never know what he could do, but there he is. And we still have Ridian, who is going to join the pack. So, after 10 laps, reset. Yes, some things will still be under investigation, like Seb and Oren's thing. Josh made an amazing switch back into turn 1 on the 2 title protagonists, really. And managed to get past the pair of them. Not something every driver can do. But he got through into turn 2, squeezed Oren into 3, and then Seb tried to get him, and they connected. Now, I've only seen it once. I can't really remember really whose fault it was, but I don't know if they're going to try and discuss it now. But anyway, safety car still going out for another lap. This will help the tyre life of the hards make it to the end, but I'm sure they will be fine. Remember a few seasons ago, Morgan and Frosty have swapped for some reason, but they were like that anyway. Oh, Frosty's in the pits, that's why. So Frosty on the mediums. Yeah, probably better to put the hard compound tyre. Yeah, good stuff from him. Right, so Red Bull have got it all to do. Small Nick is back in his car. That's good to see. 13th. And 12th for Morgan. A lot of people out of position, so there's going to be a lot of close and interesting battles. What does Seb do? Does he let Josh go down the road again? Let's look at warnings real quick. Josh, it's something you love to see. Josh Hewitt has not got a single warning or race. Seb got... That's probably for the incident with Oren, yeah. I saw there was a swap. Christian and Chubster. They're fine now, but yeah. Right, safety car should be in this lap. Frosty's definitely going to catch the pack. You can see all of them just in one image there. And yeah, there could be a surprise or two. Remember, the Constructors' Championship is still on the line. RB need to outscore Alpine by 17 points. Make it 18 points. To win the Constructors' Championship. They were set with a similar task last season, not for the win, but for second, to gain 40 points. They scored 44, and Haas only scored 1, and they did it. So can they do it again for the ultimate glory a team can achieve? Josh Hewitt will lead them on what should hopefully be a fair safety car restart. That's just something he hasn't done in a while. But he's done quite a few. Anyway. Christian, unfortunately, with 13 seconds. Bluey and Frosty with 3 themselves. Everyone else, equal opportunity. to see how much ground they can gain. And the question is, when will Josh Hewitt decide to go? Keeping it at a decent speed, all single file. Round the final couple corners, we've seen so many safety car restarts in the finale. And Josh Hewitt gearing up to get ready, as they're all still, amazingly and thankfully, all still in one piece. Josh Hewitt then will lead them around the final corner. Eggy tried a little move on Seb, but across the line then to start lap 12, it's Josh Hewitt from Seb, from Eggy, drifting, Chubster, Christian, Oren hanging back a little bit, but now will gain in the braking zones. Marine, Nathan, Josh falling down the order because he's not actually in the car. So that already promotes Morgan and Nick up a place. Into turn 5 then, as we see Eggy going for a move on Seb and drifting as well. Seb just has to keep out of trouble. Slight contact with Eggy, but now he's going to blast his battery as Eggy making sure that Seb doesn't let Josh go again. And this is a brilliant form from the Mercedes and very smart to play. He's going for the lead of the race to the inside. Eggy trying to take the lead from Josh. He gives him the room, and Seb and Chubster as well fighting, drifting as well. Seb goes, which allows Eggy to stay in front. Now he's going to blast his battery still, but Josh has got a lot more to see if he can stay in front, and he might just hang on, as Eggy not really close enough to try any sort of move. Oren up to 6 then, as Christian and Marine are fighting around the outside. Goes the Ferrari to the inside. Goes Seb now on Eggy back in front. And they are as they were. A lot of battery for the top two compared to Eggy, as Nathan and Christian are fighting to the inside. Where is Christian going? As through goes Small Nick on the pair of them. Christian just forgot what a left-hand corner was. Nathan not happy with that one bit. As we start lap 13. It's kicked me out my pie. Hang on. Josh Hewitt then, still in front of Seb. Then Eggy, drifting. Chubster, Oren 5th then. Close to the Sauber. Marine really close to the Aston Martin. Is there going to be any sorts of sends into turn 5? Yes, Oren to the inside of the Sauber. The Sauber goes wide on the mediums as well. Same with Marine. Everyone else on the hard compound tyres, so they might not make it to the end. Frosty and Morgan fighting for 12th. We look further up. It's all getting spicy for the top 4. 3 wide to the inside. Eggy backs out again. Drifting and Seb wheel to wheel. Josh stays in front of them all. Eggy on the inside of drifting. They stay as they were. But here comes Oren. After spinning, being penultimately last at the end of lap 1, finds himself 1 car away from the guy he started on the front row with. Can he go around the outside of drifting? Can he switch it to the inside of drifting as he has a slight twitch on his rear? He's got a chance, but he stays behind for now. So, Oren, this is exactly what he needed. Again, a perilous first lap, as we see Marine get past Chubster as Christian gets another time penalty. But even after a 10-second as well, a safety car by Laser has helped him back up to where he needs to be. Seb once again letting his teammate get away. And now Oren finds himself back in the fight. Seb goes off there. A lot of battery to use. Josh Hewitt as well, looking fine. Oren looking to the inside, takes a bollard with him into turn 5. Later on the brakes, it's the Aston Martin to the inside of the Alpine, who need every point they can get. Now they're going to be wheel to wheel. Drifting has so much more battery to play with than the Aston Martin, who's just going to have to hang behind for now. And now he's gaining on Seb. Which way does he go? He goes to the inside of the RB. But who wants the DRS more? Banging wheels, drifting, corrects himself, connecting with Seb. Oren's going to try a switch back on the pair of them. Doesn't quite get the momentum he wanted. But who's got the DRS? It's drifting and Oren to sandwich Seb. And he's going to see a car to his left and a car to his right. But Oren backs off for now. Drifting still to the inside. And Seb just giving him enough room. 3 wide as Oren has to back off there. As Eggy and Chubster fighting for 6th and 7th. Small Nick out of it all has found himself up in 7th now. Just about avoiding Eggy. As going off there is Christian. As going round there is Small Nick, unfortunately losing some ground. Was it his mistake? Was it maybe Marine's? Chaos everywhere you look. 3 seconds now the gap between Josh Hewitt and Seb. We start the halfway point of the race. Drifting 3rd. Where is Morgan? That's the That's the question. Morgan's down in last. Something's happened, and he's left. I can't even see him. He may have just quit. I don't know. Well, he was never really a team player per se, and he was always a kind of a weirdo when it came to not winning and down in the bad positions. So yeah, looks like it's just going to be drifting then. Fighting Oren, who's making his way up in a third. Spots not really a gap. Destroys a board in the process. Banging wheels again with drifting. Oren this time gets in front. This time loses the rear, which allows drifting to go for the switchback. Oren with barely battery to support himself. And again, second time round, drifting gets back in front, but without any battery himself, will fall under pressure from the likes of maybe Chubster to the inside, using those mediums to good effect. But can't quite get past the Aston at the moment. And Marine and Eggy still fighting. Marine also on the medium compound tyres. Just wish that safety car logo in the top left would disappear. So Seb, plenty of battery to use if he wants to. Currently sticking it in none. Letting Josh Hewitt go in front. Eggy gets a 3-second time penalty now. Small Nick, one of his closest rivals, within that 3 second. Remember, drifting also fighting for fourth. And he currently lags a few points behind Small Nick, so it's all to play for at the moment. And with Eggy with a 3 second, looks like it's going to be Nick versus drifting for fourth. 3 second gap then. Seems like Morgan's saying his Wi-Fi went out. Just told him it hasn't retired him, luckily, but he is down in last. We're seeing drifting go around the outside then. Oren watching this unfold. Just about not hitting him. Now he's got a bit of battery to use. So is drifting in the slipstream of Seb, using his battery to try and stay in front. Oren is gaining all the time with his battery saved up. And round the outside goes the Aston Martin, drifting, capitalised on his tight line. And Oren now gets himself up in a third. So the top two on the grid, the top two all season, find themselves second and third as Josh Hewitt, 3 seconds down the road, carries on doing what he's been doing all race. Oren sliding through the final few corners. Chubster now gets a 3 second time penalty. It's allowing Marine and Nick to gain some more places. Whoa, close stuff here at the front as Seb goes wide there, and Oren and Seb are going to see themselves fighting once again like they've done all season. Oren to the inside versus Seb. Oren gets the place. Seb now sticking behind. Going past the corner where they made contact on the opening lap. Oren now conserving his battery. Going slower and slower. And there's the detection point. Banging wheels, the top two. Drifting, trying to spy a move to the inside. Backs out just in case there's a collision. And Seb will now fly past the Aston Martin. And so will the Alpine. Oren, unfortunately, just hasn't got the battery and is drifting, going to try and get the pair of them. He's going to stay behind, get the DRS again, and try and get Seb. Eggy fighting away with the two medium runners. And I'm sure their tyres are going to fall off soon. So here comes drifting then. Can he get past Seb, or is he going to be smart and save for one more lap? Seb using everything, really, as drifting to the inside. But Seb later on the brakes. But this time round, drifting is in front of the RB. Just leaves him enough space as they connect wheel to side pod. Don't crash as they head down into the heavy braking zone. Seb to the inside. Amazing defending as he stays in P2. And Oren, look how much battery he's saved. Going wide there. Chubster. And Nick almost back within a second of the tops. Well, second to seventh. Seb versus drifting versus Oren versus Chubster versus Eggy versus Marine versus Nick, who's hopefully going to join the fight soon. Look how much battery he's got. Then again, Eggy's got quite a bit too. And Oren's got quite a lot. Seb slowing them down. And there's the detection point now, so you can have a send into turn 5 if you want. Oren going round the outside of the Alpine. Spots a gap. Now he's going to maintain it with the slipstream from Seb. So Oren gets up in a third. But drifting, blasting all the battery. But now it's roles reversed. This time Oren has all the battery he needs to stay in front. And if he's smart, he'll stay behind Seb and get him on the next one. Slight contact between Eggy and Chubster, sending him around. knocking him down 2 places. Looking further front. Seb blasting everything he's got. Oren not giving this one up. Where does he go? He has to go right. And he clears the RB round the outside. Oren's played it perfectly. And now he's up into second. But Seb is not going to let him get away. And neither is Drifting. Looks like these three have fallen away. Pulled away, should I say, from these guys after an incident between Eggy and Nick, who are going wheel to wheel. This is crucial points between the two of the three fighting for 4th in the championship. Nick goes round the outside of Eggy. What a beautiful move if he can make this stick. And he has made it stick. Such commitment and trust in his fellow Mercedes driver. And to get up into 7th now. Well, technically 5th. So, really, at the moment, Drifting's 4th. Nick is 5th. And Eggy, well, he's going to be down the order still. As we look further to the front. Low battery levels for the three of them. Josh Hewitt looking good at the moment. Just going to quickly check the gap again. Nick is 2 points in front of Drifting. As Christian gets another time penalty. Marine gets ahead of Chubster. So if Small Nick is 5th and Drifting is 4th, they will be level on points. But obviously, Nick will beat Drifting because he's got more wins. Slide contact between the Sauber and the Williams. But the Williams, with plenty of battery to use, will fly away now. No swaps for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. 10 laps to go then. In what has been a thrilling, exuberant Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. But it could all still change. We've lost Laser Gamer, who caused the first safety car as Nick gets past Marine. Ghosting for some reason. And we lost Lee because he disqualified himself. So Marine literally sticking on to the back of the Williams. But he might still try and get the move here if he can use the ghosting to his advantage. Into the pit lane is Chubster. So the medium's not lasting. And I'm sure Marine will do the same thing soon. So he's been a bit of a bother for Nick. But at the moment, he's in front. But sending it to the inside will get the place now. And Nick backs off to get the DRS. And loses it a bit. And just hangs on. So battery levels still kind of the same, a little higher than last time. But look at that gap, it's going down. 2.7 now down to 2.1. Orange showing the pace. Look at those fastest laps. Oren under pressure from Seb, who pulls to the inside defensively. Seb backs off for now. And I'm sure he'll try and gear himself up and get back past him. Heading into the next straight, Oren hasn't exactly got the exit he wanted. Now Seb's all over the back of him. Chubster, another time penalty. Drifting's also trying to get on the act. Seb has to make sure he's careful where he places his car. 3 wide, and there's a crash between Drifting and Seb. He got a bit too desperate, making it 3 wide. Couldn't exactly go anywhere. I don't think any of them have sustained any damage, luckily. Actually, Seb may have lost his right end plate after hitting the wall a bit. And Cowabunga may have been turned to Yippee-ki-yay. As Seb has wing damage on his right-hand side. That is going to allow Oren to pull away. He's lost a second on this lap nearly. Speaking of a second, Seb is over that for Oren. And that is a big moment. Alpine versus RB. And I'm guessing that was why Drifting went for the move. I'm sure his intention wasn't to have an incident, but that has made Seb not close enough to Oren. And Drifting can hope Oren is free now to chase down Josh, take 7 crucial points away from RB. Because at the moment, only 1 Alpine is scoring, and it's not enough. Maybe even with 3rd and 1st it's enough. That's 40 points compared to his 12. But now they're going to be fighting still. And Drifting himself may even feel the need to pull away from Seb because that damage is going to be sustained. But I'm sure Seb will still have the pace to stick with. 3 wide and 7 Drifting connected into the wall. They did very well just not to go fully right and crash out. Seb around the outside of Drifting. Drifting still sticks his nose in there. Goes deep but hangs it onto it. Seb will have to try to the inside. Bit more wheel banging. But Drifting hangs onto the place. Just about. So Small Nick in front of these guys now. Eggy trying to make his way past Marine, who should surely be pitting soon. No way is he going to make those mediums go to the end. Christian, 22 seconds of penalties. Ridian, after everything, has found himself up in 9th. and a potential net P8. So Red Bull, not too bad as they're fighting for 8th and 9th. Nathan can still see himself with points. Chubster, he's going to be one quick driver right at the end with new mediums, as these two aren't even in their cars, but they're fighting. Josh Hewitt, there it is. Unfortunately now gets a 3-second time penalty. The thing that has let him down so much this season. And yeah, Oren, 1.2 behind now. Drifting 1 second behind now. And Seb just trying to stick with. So you can see Nick in the background. Race has been a mix of amazing driving at the front, amazing driving through the field to come back in terms of Oren and Small Nick. Out of it all, by lap 22, they are still up there. And just shows the kind of performances they're putting in. But that kind of corner doesn't show the representativeness of Small Nick, who's been in the wall, not even in this race, just with his connection. In P5, but now make it P6 as Marine goes to the inside. And, well, he's had those mediums on for 13 laps, so surely they're feeling the wear. And at the moment, I was going to say him along with Seb, Drifting and Oren just have to watch themselves for penalties. Both RBs now find themselves with 3-second time penalties. And that could be so crucial for the Constructors' Championship, because at the moment, it is Oren and Drifting getting the 1-2. And Drifting would get, well, let's ignore fastest lap for now. And Drifting would get 18 points. RB would get, well, 15 and 12, 27. 9 points, which isn't enough. They need double that. So they got to hope that Drifting gets a time penalty. Otherwise, RB, it's really tense and really close at the moment. I'm sure there's going to be a lot to investigate after the race as well. But we've got to take it as it is at the moment with the race result. Smolnik getting back past Marine, who's driving a good race so far. Ignore the whole lap 1, 13 seconds down, illegal overtakes business. Oren takes the lead. What a jinx as Marine gets his 3rd time penalty. But yeah, Oren, that was coming from a long way back. 3-4 laps ago. We knew he'd take the lead soon. And there it is. Oren, he was nearly last at the end of lap 1. By lap 23, as Josh goes off again, he finds himself in the lead, going for a 9th EXFL Tier 2 Grand Prix victory. And what a drive he has delivered so far. 6 laps to go then. And he's just got a few laps in hand before he can break and make history. But Josh Hewitt is going to try his best to try and stick with the Aston Martin. Drifting, trying his best to close in on the RB. So close, but I don't think any of the top 3 got within DRS of each other. The only one who got it is Seb, who's just trying to hang on to his wing damage and hang on to Drifting. No battery for these two, but DRS for Seb to the inside. Seb back in front, and now he sees his teammate in front of him to give him DRS. And you can just see the struggle for those sorts of corners that Seb's trying to do with wing damage. Drifting, blasting just to stick with these guys. Seb keeping it fine. And yeah, there it is. Oren's outside of a second. So Oren, yes, he had that incident with Seb at turn 1, but he was the one who got spun. So if it's his fault, he spins, whatever. But if it was Seb's fault, there may be more to come. But at the moment, unless he's made any making his way through the field, which I don't think there has been any, he is looking solid at the moment. He has 5 laps to go to see out the season. It may not have been the World Championship he was hoping for after a few unfortunate races, as we have a VSC. Yeah. Is Seb seriously going to pit? Fair enough. He's going to pit for softs, change his front wing. We have a VSC for some reason. Who's caused that? Nathan! And now we have a safety car, no? The yellow dot. Oh my god. It's a classic end of race, end of season safety car, no? That yellow dot. That's the safety car, no? That's the safety car! Unbelievable. Who's caused that? Was it Nathan? well, Oren's teammate has just retired, and that's brought out the second safety car of the evening. Bluey gets a drive-through. Oh, no. And it's just absolute chaos. If Morgan gets in right now, he could still find himself with a bunch of points. It's been swinging here and there. RB, for a lot of the race, looked like they could overcome the gap and be Constructors' champions. Bluey gets another drive-through. But now, it looks like Alpine are still hanging on with drifting. Crazy. Yeah, that's the thing. Seb did not change his front wing. So that must be so infuriating that he has literally pitted. And then there's been, well, a VSC. And then there's been a safety car. So at the moment, the podium is going to be Oren, Drifting, and Small Nick. Drifting, remember, for 4th and 5th anyway, we're going to be level on points with Nick. But because 2nd, 3rd, and 4th offers a 3-point difference between the points of position, Drifting, if he can hang on, there's Oren now! Gets a oh, wait, that is heading into the pit lane, though. He could get that removed. God, there's going to be so many question marks at the end of this now. Yeah, there is still a glitch entering the pit lane that gives you a warning. And so long as Oren doesn't get another warning, that could probably get removed. As long as he, you know, gets his race director as well and clips that. If he's listening to the stream, that's what he should do. So, and yeah, I thought that was going to come soon. Bluey's been disqualified for receiving all those penalties. And it's going to be close between Drifting and Seb. Exiting the pit lane. Holding him up is Josh Hewitt to allow Seb in front. Smart play from the team there. Drifting may say it was dangerous going slowly or something, but hey, he might not care, Drifting, at the moment, because currently Drifting 096207 is winning the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and Small Nick is getting second. Remember, well, Eggy unfortunately has a time penalty, so I think out of the three of them fighting for 4th in the standings, he's going to be 6th. Remember, Nick and Drifting are fighting for 4th. There's 2 points between them. And at the moment, they are fighting for the win. Small Nick, who I'm sure would love a 5th win, a 4th in 5 races. Drifting, I'm sure would love a 2nd win. This time, actually now, as Christian gets another penalty. Because he won it post-race in Italy. The safety car is going to come in next lap. We are going to have, it's going off there, it's Chubster. We are going to have a 2-lap sprint to end the season like we have done quite a few times in EXFL at Abu Dhabi at the season finale. Oren, well, at the moment is still technically winning because, like I said, that warning he got probably isn't valid. He got it for crossing the white line, and at Abu Dhabi it is kind of glitched. But we take it on the tongue. So at the moment, I don't know. There's so much to sort through, for God's sake. We start the last lap under the safety car. Oren leads ahead of Seb like they were on the front row. And 27 laps later, throughout everything, find themselves 1st and 2nd again. Josh Hewitt, after leading pretty much the whole race, finds himself 3rd now. And unless he can play the team game and hold these guys up for 3 seconds, oh, it's going to get a bit chaotic like it always usually does. Marine 6th with 9 seconds. Chubster 7th with 6 seconds. Eggy 8th with 3 seconds. Ridian could find himself up in 6th by the end, maybe even higher. Josh and Morgan, technically they're going to get disqualified. And we still don't know who's going to win this Constructors' Championship at the moment. RB, I don't think we'll be able to gain enough on Drifting. And are you ready, ladies and gentlemen, for the final 2-lap sprint to see out the season? We know Oren's time penalty may be under review and may get removed, depends how these last 2 laps go. He's going for a record-breaking 9th win in EXFL Tier 2. No driver's ever done that in the 4.5, close to 5 years. Well, 4.5 for Tier 2 that it's been on. Safety car is in this lap. And Oren versus Seb for the final 2 laps, like we should see it. And Oren, hopefully not like Italy, will do his restart. Josh Hewitt close to his teammate in 3rd. Drifting and Nick, they know what's ahead of them and what they have to do. Nick, he was last at the end of lap 1. And at the moment, even through all the issues of connections, this is EXFL Tier 2. Anything can happen. And he finds himself with a chance of victory. Or at least definitely a podium. Oren, well, we could potentially treat it as a win for him. The safety car will peel off into the pit lane. And we will get ready for the final 2 laps of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and Tier 2 Season 9. Seb close to it. And Josh Hewitt is doing what I thought he might do. He's keeping the gap at 2 seconds. He's letting the top 2 fight it out in the final 2 laps. Josh Hewitt, 1.6 seconds as they cross the line behind his teammate, has bunched up the pack a bit there. So it is Oren versus Seb in the final couple laps, the final stages of this World Championship. Ridian now gets a time penalty as the 2 Red Bulls drop down the order. Reminiscent of these two, and it's scenes of 21 kind of. So Josh in front of Drifting, who's going for the move to the inside of the RB. Nick spying his opportunity to maybe get a double slipstream from these lot. It's all going to be about battery because DRS will be available on the last lap of the race. Drifting using all his battery now. Same with Josh Hewitt to go wheel to wheel into the end of the straight. Josh leaving him just enough space. Nick watching this unfold. Seb not close enough for Oren at the moment. Nick trying a switch as Josh does the switch instead on Drifting. Christian 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. And now Drifting's out of battery. Here comes Nick. This is potentially for second or the race win. Josh going defensive. Round the outside goes the Williams. And Drifting trying to keep his nose in there. They know these two are fighting for position. And Nick round the outside. Looks like he's got the inside line to keep hold of the position. And Drifting, using too much battery, is going to have to try and save some now. It's all going to kick off on this final lap. But it is Oren versus Seb. And at the moment, Oren's actually broke away from the RB. Oren wants the 9th win, and he starts lap 29 as well with the fastest lap. Final lap of the season with Oren leading in front of Seb. Josh Hewitt P3. And let's look to leader, because crucially, Oren is 3 seconds clear of Nick. So even without removing that, Oren could still find himself brilliantly winning the 9th race of the season in front of Seb, who's still got to try and get 3 seconds. It's literally 3 seconds between him and Small Nick, but Nick is now going to have the DRS, and now we're going to see Drifting versus Nick. Drifting's got nothing left. Nick's got plenty of battery to see if he can get past the RB of Josh. Which way is he going to go? Inside or outside? He stays behind. This allows Marine to get past the pair of them, and it's all going to kick off a collision between Josh and Marine. Now allows Nick and Drifting to fight it out. So, can Drifting get him with minimal battery, but DRS as Marine to the inside, also getting in on the act. And it looks like Nick may just hang on to P3, and he does, which will secure him 4th as it's all kicking off. We look further front as going off there as Marine spinning around. Chaos, as usual, has unfolded, but through it all, last at the end of lap 1, first at the end of lap 29. A brilliant season comes to an end. 8 times, we've said it before. Here's a 9th for you. Oren wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Seb finishes 2nd to make it a 1-2 for the top 2 all season long. Nick 3rd, Drifting 4th, Josh Hewitt 5th. And I believe that does mean that Alpine are Tier 2 Season 9 Constructors Champions. By, I think, 1 point. Oh my god. Seb got 80. Oh no. Wait. It might actually. They might have generally just won this thing by 1 point. Wow. Seb got 18 points. Josh got 10, 28. Drifting got 12, 16. Alpine was 17 in front of RB. RB have gained 16. Which means Alpine, I think at the moment, have won the Constructors' Championship by 1 single point. And the driver who stopped RB from doing so is the man who has broken and rewritten history. Oren, for the 9th time and the fastest lap, has won an EXFL Tier 2 Grand Prix. What a season finale. What a season. Wow. And yeah, unless there's any penalties, Alpine are Constructors' champions by 1 point. It didn't even matter for Oren if he gets his 3-second removed or not. And there's the race director, but wow. Alex didn't think he won the Constructors. He's annoyed with Josh, obviously. Alright. Sort the settings out for donuts. What a crazy race. I think that turns ghosting off. Right, and I may as well get Oren and Sebin. By the way, update, Nathan's wheel fell off, apparently. That's what caused the last VSC/safety car. You there, mate, Seb? You're a bit quiet, mate. Alright, mate. That's better. Right. Let me just invite Aaron as well. Oh, yeah. Give me a sec. I need to change the setting. There you go.
clear my audio. Your family.
Your family. Right, we've got Drifting, Chubster, Seb, Oren, Eggy, Christian, Ridian, Nick, and Bluey ready to go at the moment.
Where did Josh finish it and after everything?
I hate to be the one to tell you, mate.
It's out of the points, I know that.
No, what, Josh?
Yeah.
You finished 5th.
Oh, you finished fifth. Oh, shit.
No, so, right.
I thought you finished like 14th.
You finished 2nd, Josh finished 5th. Together you got 28 points. Alex got 4th. He got 12 points overall for Alpine.
Yeah, but
Means
the
you
thing
gained
is...
16 on them.
Hang on.
I know, there's stuff as well to cover.
I got fucking bum raped by a certain Alpine.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover.
For people saying, it was my fault, I'm not going to take out Oren, because that's where I was. My front left was on...
Are you on about the 3 wide thing?
Yeah, well, I was on Oren's front right.
Yeah.
Literally touching. I can't go, I physically can't go left. So where can I go? Right. I don't even move right and I'm in a barrier.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll have to have a look at that, obviously.
There's only one way where I can go right without turning right, and that's if someone's pushed me right. If, on purpose or not, he's still connecting onto my wheel. Like I connected onto Oren's wheel, yes. But I had nowhere else to go. I physically had nowhere else to go because of where drifting was.
What about lap 1 with Oren?
Oh, I've gone through turn 1 fine. Josh and Oren have gone past me. Josh has hit the inside barrier, bounced out. Hit Oren.
Yeah, like I said, there's going to be a lot to cover after the race. But for now, we'll do donuts. We don't. Well, at the moment, I guess we don't really know who's won the constructors, but I think we certainly know who's won the drivers. So we'll gear up.
That is me. Hello, it's your boy. Not a bottler 101. Like another person in this party.
By the way, are you there, Oren?
Yeah, I'm just looking back at the turn 1 instant, and it is. You know how the curb can send you out on the inside of turn 2? Or if I don't know if it's turn 2. But the kinks where it goes right, left, right after turn 1.
Turn 3.
Yeah, I didn't know if they were classed as numbers. Josh has got on the curb there and flung out.
Yeah, I know that. We invite Oren. Hi, mate. Yeah, so he switched back the pair of you, amazingly. Got ahead. Kind of squeezed Oren out. And then heading into turn 3, he's made contact with you, which has spun him. So, yeah.
Who's this for?
Lap 1, Seb and Oren.
No, it's Josh and Oren, not me. I was a
was it
and all
Josh?
that. Yeah, it was Josh. That's what I mean. He's gone off the curb into Oren.
Oh, I thought it was you and Oren.
No.
How many incident points has Josh on already?
13, I think.
Oh, well, it's the end of the season, so it's not going to matter anyway.
Right, I need to quickly look at this back.
So, is it by 1 point we've won?
Hang on.
Before stewarding, mate.
If you just take the game result, yes, Alpine have won by 1 point. But I think there could be quite a few changes. Wait, so Josh to the inside, squeezes Oren. No, it was with you, sir.
Do you want me to send you my POV? Because it certainly isn't me.
No, let me send you this clip.
Let me record this and send this to you.
No, but what I'm saying is, you know what? Never mind. We'll focus on the donuts and we'll elaborate later on.
We're elaborating now.
I want to know what happened with me and the 3 of us. Because I got one person telling me it's my fault, someone else telling me it's someone else's fault, and
Are you on about the 3 wide thing?
Yep.
Yeah, for now, just forget that. I know it's heat at the moment and adrenaline's high, but for now, we'll just see out the season with some donuts.
I can't lie, I'm just happy I didn't get wing damage out of that.
Yeah. Right, who we actually got then? We got... Wait, is Oren here? Oren?
Jin, I sent you the clip.
Yeah, right. If one of you can ready up, you don't really need a setup. Have you guys loaded it?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
We're doing
Ready up then.
donuts.
Oh, fuck's sake. Josh has sent me a message on Snapchat. Okay. Yeah, sure, whatever.
There we go. Right, so we got Small Nick for some reason in the Red Bull. Oh well. Bluey in the Williams, Christian stuck around, drifting in the Alpine, Seb in his championship winning RB, Chubster in the Sauber, Oren in the Aston, Eggy in the Merc. So
Meridian's gone Ferrari,
here we go.
I think.
Right, 5 lights to begin the donut session.
Oh, best launch ever.
Yeah. Right, turn all that stuff off. There we go. Right.
Oh, Bluey's on pole.
If Oren can hear me or not, Oren and Seb may as well do like a wheel-to-wheel outlap, and then when they get back to the start-finish, do some donuts.
Oren, get here.
Can Oren hear us? Or?
Oren. The fuck. That's it. Hang on.
Such a shame
Alright.
Koo ain't here, because I would have liked to
Yeah, I
do
think his
something.
call him.
internet went out, unfortunately.
Where did he even finish?
Well, he's going to get disqualified, but I don't
Oh.
think he even got points.
Ah, so I single-handedly, well, for now, won the constructors.
As it stands, with the game result, yes, Alpine have won by 1 point.
Seb
it's
says
still-
Seb says I'm gonna get a penalty for the incident between us three.
But there's still, again, that to look at, lap 1 to look at, and probably something else to look at. Not even like you two wise, it could be with Nick, could be with Oren, could be with Josh.
Yeah, we were saying like before the safety car, you were having a F1 gasm because of our battle.
It was a really good battle. Right, can someone get Oren, get a hold of Oren, please?
What do you think I'm doing? Calling my mum? I'm getting a hold of him on track.
Fuck yeah, unboxing off for wets.
Fondling his bum.
Oren's going backwards for some reason. Bluey's still on the grid.
Yeah, he went to eat.
Oren,
Oh.
Jaden says we have to do a lap side by side. Well,
Seb's
aesthetic
chasing Oren.
purposes. Yeah, I'm chasing you doing a lap backwards. Get your ass back here. Yeah, we're supposed to
What's the
we're supposed to do like a lap side by side to show.
Do
respect.
tier
Very
one,
start
Tom.
of the lap. Hit him, Oren, hit him. Yeah.
Do tier 1
Hang
donuts,
on, that's it.
donuts exist?
Hang on, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Do you want me to host it?
Yeah,
Right,
sure.
let's do this.
Oh
Here we
shit,
go.
you're right, Seb.
So, like it was, Oren will cross the line to win his 9th. Just about, there we go. And Seb will come in for 2nd.
Ah!
Oh, bloody hell.
There's a
Yeah,
Welshman.
fastest lap.
But yeah, what a season it's been between Oren and
Oh,
Seb
get back here.
fighting out. Is that Eggy? I don't recall Oren being on the mediums, but whatever.
Yeah, you fucked up continuity, Oren. You're supposed to be on the hards.
But yeah, at the moment, well, I'm
Oh yeah,
99%
sure, yeah, shit. It's
sure
supposed to be softs. I'm not
that
even
Oren
on the right
has
side.
taken his 9th and record-breaking Tier 2 win tonight to break the all-time record. It may not have unfortunately been the championship, but I'm pretty sure we can say Oren, one of the greatest Tier 2 seasons to ever be displayed, and probably the greatest driver to never win a Tier 2 title.
That's it's
That
supposed to
honour
be you, Oren. You're the greatest. Tier 2
goes
driver
to
not win a
Sebastian
title.
Farug, yep. The world champion of this season. And yeah, Seb, 18 podiums in 22 races.
Formidable. That's what I've got to say. Okay, right. Smalley came out of nowhere.
Excuse me.
I'll do my own
But yeah,
thing.
no EXFL driver has got more than 16 before this season. And you've ended the season with 18.
I'm just formidable.
What
What
a-
can I say?
A brilliant, consistent, amazing drive. So yeah, in terms of interview-wise, that qualifying was incredible. 3 thousandths between you and Oren.
Four.
Oh yeah, 4 of course. Were there any Were there any mistakes you made in your lap that you think could have got you pole?
I could have maybe used my battery a bit better, but where is he? There he is. I'll just go to you.
Anyway, off the start, wheel to wheel, and then obviously Josh got past the pair of you. Was it always the plan to let Josh get away?
Yes.
Yes, thought so. Right. In terms of, by the way, your 3, how many warnings did you actually get overall? Was it 3 or 4?
4. Half of them came after I got my
Wing damage.
wing damage.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was chilling.
Where's Seb? I'm just seeing Oren now. Is he catching up to you? Or?
Yeah, he's coming to fiddle me.
Orgy time! Oh, that's a chipster.
Oh, right.
Shit.
Okay.
Front car.
There we go.
Yo, what's up, Owen?
Yeah, that's fair. And then did Josh purposely slow down a bit in the pit lane to let you get ahead?
Owen wants you to join the Discord call after you finish streaming.
Oh my god. Right, here we go then. Donut time for the top 2.
Do donuts, Owen. Owen, Owen.
Alright. This is why you didn't
straight.
win the championship.
On the straight, do some donut.
Orgy time.
Here we go
Get
then.
out, mate.
I'll get out the picture. I'll let you have your perfect moment.
Let the gay guys have their fun.
Ow! I've been touched.
What a season has been. Congratulations to Oren. Number 95 has achieved his 9th win in EXFL Tier 2 Season 9. He's made history. And Seb, he has won this season to be the world champion. And I think a fitting touch is if you two did what Mercedes did in 2020.
Well, I can't remember that far back. I'm literally retarded.
Where you face each other.
Oh yeah, right. Owen, we've got to face each other. We've got to give each other a little smooch. Come on, right. Yeah. Right. Give us a smooch.
Hey. A lot of respect between the two title rivals. Probably the best title fight we've seen in terms of respect. A lot of fights. It got a bit close at times.
Jaden, sorry to interrupt your orgy party, but we've got a better orgy going on.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, let me get a
Focus
hold of that.
Here we go. Get it.
Christian, get over there.
Honda
Yes,
Power,
I pushed him over there.
Power versus Renault
And
Power.
you, Aaron.
Where's the Ferrari Power? There's no Ferraris here. Ah, there's one.
What me
Going backwards. Who is this? That's Ridian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Brittany
oh,
wearing
shit,
the Ferrari.
Wait a minute, he'll be. Oh no, I was gonna say he'll be on the scene soon, but he's in a wall.
That's it. I'm gonna go find the Welshman. Who is in my side pod? Please get out.
Me.
Well
Let me
done,
go.
EXFL Tier 2 this season. Well done to Seb, champion of the world. And in terms of the constructors, we'll have to wait.
Hang on. I'm finding the Welshman. I can see him. I can see him on the
At the
minimap.
moment, it's Alpine, 1 point ahead of RB. But things could still change. That pretty much sums it up. And yeah.
Join us for Tier 2
let's-
Season 6.
There is one more thing people usually do when they do this donut session. You know where Oren went off?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Right,
Yep,
orgy-
off we go.
the
Oren,
middle
orgy
sector.
time.
Whoa. Wait, so you're all...
Smallness getting a bit personal.
I need to
Drifting.
turn the track thingy.
Yeah, I'm going the other way.
There we go.
Oh, me and Ridian are in sync. And we're not the boy band. Bye. Sorry.
Wait, where's Seb? There he is. Alright.
I being bottom.
Seb, like he has done for most of the season, will lead them into the you-know-where area.
I want to get part of the orgy.
I'm riding on board with Ridian. Oh, he misses the thing. Never mind.
What?
Where is everyone?
I'm going to the orgy. I'm going to the Diddy party.
Seb's waiting.
And I'm also
I was gonna
trying
say,
to get
Oren's
Jaden's
missed it.
streams cancelled. Right, I'm here.
Aggie.
Oh, there we go. Ridian realises.
Orgy
And
time!
he's drifting as well.
Oh yeah, I think Aggie's
He's been tagged. Here we go. Slotting in.
Oh, that
And
one.
let me get parallel park. This is so amazing. This is so useful for when I learn to drive.
Oh,
You need to like back up a bit and like head in at
I
massive
can
speed.
I can see the McLaren, and Oren said there's a McLaren coming.
Ah, there's Christian as well. Yep. At one corner, he completely forgot how
I've
to
got to,
turn left.
I've got to make.
One
a
of you needs
paragraph
to
now,
like back
don't I?
up a lot and then head in like a lot of speed and
Can you,
make a big crash.
Seb?
Alright.
Can you get Ridian to sort of smooch
Got it.
Cooch over?
Oh yeah, I can invite Ridian now, can't I? Ridian. There he is.
There we go. He's in the Ridian's in the corner. Right, come on, orgy.
There we go, Seb. Build some speed. Get him.
Christian!
No! Fucks.
Here we go again.
You've got a French asshole, an Italian asshole, and a British asshole sticking out. Pick an asshole.
I want the British green one.
And he's gonna hit the Italian.
Here we go.
Oh.
Penetrate.
Eyes wide
Oh,
shut
here comes Christian.
style. Hang on.
No, it's not. Oh, yeah,
I don't
want
want to get touched by a
slowly.
German. This has already happened before. Ow. Ouch.
Jobs to doing donuts. Don't know why it's that off board.
Get in the corner, you
Who's
fucking
this?
Welshman.
Small Nick doing donuts. Bluey still
First
where he is.
time.
Eggy might join you soon.
Oh, let
Depends,
me out, man.
If he passes.
Fuck yeah. I'll call the IRA now. Jesus. 3.10.
Whoa.
I can't lie. My quali lap came out of nowhere. I was nowhere
Yeah.
like 2 hours ago.
Got 5th. And washed.
And out of it all, after all that chaos, you guys still managed to be like the top 5 and stuff.
Probably
No,
5th.
I hate
Eggy, Nick overtook me because he got the podium.
Next, don't know. Can
Yeah,
I
it
get
seemed
out to
like
this
you
hole?
blasted a bit too much battery on 28 drifting.
I had to get away from
Yeah,
Josh
wait a
because you saw how Josh was
Yeah.
reacting.
Yeah, he was doing what Bram did a couple years ago at the restart.
Surely that's penalisable.
There is a rule, but I'll have to look at what the gap exactly was.
I'll tell you what, it was more than a
We
car's
did
length.
implement a rule after that happened for cases like this, so we'll have a look. If you report it, that is. So,
I've sent you the clips, so
yeah, right.
I'm going into
Yeah,
the
like I said, there's a lot to look at.
Are you still streaming?
Yeah, I'm still streaming.
Yeah.
No slaves yet, boys.
I'm not
Gonna hold
right.
off.
Everybody who's watching the stream, tune in tomorrow so you can watch Tier 1 Season 6 finale when there's nothing to fight for anymore.
Drifting's
I'm
fat.
still fine for second, I guess.
Okay.
You say, Ridian?
I said you're a very fit and healthy looking man. Got pressed
Really
by
shagged
fucking...
the sheep, shagged the sheep. And I
Well-
shagged him now.
22
better-
races done, and out of it all, Sebastian Ferrugia is world champion.
Oh, just
Seb,
say that again.
I'm
Say
sure.
that again.
Sebastian Ferrugia, you are the world champion.
One more time. One more
Ferrugia.
time for the people
Sebastian Ferrugia, you are the world champion.
in the back. There we go.
One more time.
And you can now enjoy your retirement.
Or enjoy
Oh
Tier
yeah,
1.
he's
I'm
hanging
not-
up
I'm-
his
Yeah, of course.
he's hanging up his
Maybe.
gloves for
We'll
2
see what
months.
happens. The off season begins for EXFL Tier 2, and what a very enjoyable season. A very good race to end
Should I
on
do a
high.
shot?
Chaos. Yeah, we could do a shot.
Yeah,
So I'm
I'm
going
gonna do a
for,
shot.
Not the
Join me for
drink.
donuts and
Oh,
straight.
oh
Or,
no!
start finish straight.
I've got some bourbon. I've also got my
Yeah,
bourbon whiskey.
Jaden,
I
did you
can
not
have a
know
shot of.
Seb is an alcoholic?
Yeah, literally,
Oh, yeah,
I am.
100%.
Same.
I don't know what he means when he
True.
says, "Do we do a shot?" Actually, alcohol or a photo?
No alcohol.
Drifting,
I've
doing
got,
some
Oh,
I've got
yeah,
alcohol
donuts
on
up
my
here.
desk. I've got whiskey on my desk.
Nice.
Who doesn't have
Um,
some 20-year aged whiskey on their desk at all times?
Do you know
for
what? I'm
special
in Birmingham
occasions?
tomorrow. I might just go raid Josh Hewitt's gaff
I don't think there's anything there as a
Bit arson.
uni student.
with a baseball bat.
Can fit for the college dorm first.
Alright, so I'm on 100%. When will I get said puncture?
Wow, what a slide. But
Oh. And I'm done on
not as
Latifi.
much of a slide. Literally, did you see how Laser Gamer crashed? He
No.
did exactly that pretty
Oh,
much.
Oh, you're
But the other
joking.
way around, actually.
Oh, there's,
Diddy,
uh,
yeah.
It may have actually been a good
Nick,
thing.
Jaden,
Yeah,
click
because
onto
obviously
my
if you
onboard
caused
real quick.
one more
There's
thing-
some friendship going on here.
Yeah, if he caused one
Yeah.
more thing, it may have been done. So crashing out was probably the best thing he could have done.
Oh, hey guys.
Donuts.
Out. Donuts.
Donuts.
Oh, I
I
tell you
love
what.
this.
I
I love
got
how
some
over
fucking-
time
I
it's
could
turned
go for
from
some
more of donuts, less
Yeah.
donuts to more orgies.
Yeah, I've got some fucking co-op cookies in my bag.
I want some
Go.
donuts.
I think we all do.
If Seb's driving was as good as his donuts, he'd probably finish 10th in the standings. I'm not
Right,
gonna lie.
I'm on the.
I've been
look,
hitting
look,
some
how,
good
look at
donuts,
the
I can't lie.
interlinked donuts. This
To
is,
be fair,
you
he
don't
has
get
been
this
hit
anywhere
like 10
else.
times.
I've just been grinding out the donuts over here.
My donuts
Don't wanna
last
ruin
week were
driftings.
good.
Yeah, your donuts last week were pretty good. When the settings were wrong. But
Yeah, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Yep. There we go.
Some synchronized spinning on the board.
Any... Have you got... I don't know if you
In
probably haven't.
fairness,
You'll probably
right.
think on the spot, Seb. But have you got any words for this season?
Obviously, I just want to say a big thank you for everybody who I got to share the grid for in my last season.
Drifting, we're
And I
getting too
know,
close.
obviously, I've got to make like a whole paragraph and send it to the announcements thing for everything. So this is probably just going to be what I say in that paragraph as well, but probably with a few more words. But yeah, obviously, it's been something I've always wanted to do, to win a championship in the EXFL. And you know, Jack may have the first win over me, the quickest win, everything, but I've got the championship over him, even though he could probably win a tier 2 championship and he hasn't touched the game in months.
Well, consistency is key, and you have been one of the most consistent
Mr.
drivers I think
Consistent.
we've ever
I am
seen
Mr.
across a single EXFL season.
As
Tier
a
It's
one
just the
and tier
alcohol.
two. As a whole, exactly.
drink
And
more,
yeah,
kids,
you can
don't
be
actually.
proud of what you've achieved. It's a brilliant season from you and Oren in everything they've achieved.
Yeah,
And,
I also
Can I
have
say,
to
right?
just a
I
few
was
more words.
lapped at lap 5, and I got P5 at the end.
That's what I was saying. That's the beauty of EXFL Tier 2. Ridian and Nick were second last, and
Alright, let's
Oren
not
as
talk
well.
about Nick, right? That fucking cunt. Took me out fucking
And
twice.
that,
I just,
and at
yeah,
the end,
I
they've
just
come
want
up
to
to
add,
finish at
like,
the
I was
top.
a few
diddled.
more points as well.
I was getting
wanna
fucking
add, like,
diddled by the squeak guy.
That bitch, she took my fastest. Yeah, I just want to add a few more points. Obviously, I've got to meet like a bunch of amazing people doing the XFL. Obviously,
Me.
Yeah, obviously Ridian, my pooks, Oren, another one of my pooks, Drifting, a pook, you know, Josh, the ultimate pook. You know,
Another
I've-
orgy party? What was I
I've-
not invited? Allahu
I've-
Akbar!
I've met like a
It's still streaming, you mong.
I've met like a bunch of great people. Obviously, not only people that I've met in tier 2, but obviously tier 1. Obviously, the 5 lappers lads. Even though that chart I don't think has been used for 5 lappers in ages.
It's the most ironic chat.
But you know, it's still great to obviously I've met so many great people through EXFL, and obviously
Yep.
I've made so many great memories. Obviously, I will never forget me literally vibrating because I couldn't believe I got my first win in Baku a couple of seasons ago.
It was
and
Miami,
then,
wasn't it?
No, Baku ages ago. It's like 2 games
2
ago.
years
now.
ago.
Oh, you
Yeah, 2 years ago. I won Baku,
Damn, Hunk.
and then I didn't win for ages, and obviously
Is that going to
Miami
officially
win.
retire and achieve Hunk status?
And then obviously my Miami win, where I went absolutely fucking ballistic down the mic. But yeah, obviously
And
that's
now you've equalled another record on top of the many. You've led the championship from start to finish.
yeah, obviously, I share the record with Bram, don't I?
Yep.
Yeah, it's obviously that's another good mate of mine who I've obviously met through EXFL. So,
Exactly.
obviously it's gonna be hard for me to say I'm gonna have to quit EXFL fully and I don't have anything to do at 7 p.m. on Thursday anymore. But I'll always be around the league. I'll always be a steward. I'll always commentate. For as long as I care to go on for.
You're an OG, man. We can't say goodbye to you.
Yeah.
So,
I'm-
EXFL
I'm
Yeah,
always-
quite there.
Jaden's locking you in his basement as soon as his
Yeah.
interview ends, so you can't leave.
If Jaden allows me, I might have to hop on some tier 2 comms with him.
yeah, maybe. We'll see. There's
Yeah.
still a lot.
Get the boys on.
I don't want to say uncertainty or doubt, but there's a lot of, well, don't want to say question marks either. The future's very undecided at the moment, so we will see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean,
For now, what has happened has been a brilliant season.
My retirement.
22
That's also
remarkable
happened.
races.
My retirement.
All the
can't forget that.
races are obviously on YouTube. You can look back to see all your key
Cheeky plug.
moments. Obviously, there will be awards around Christmas time as well. So
well, we know
that'll
who's
also
winning
be...
meme of the season.
Cowabunga.
Can
That
I, can
may
I have
generally
like
win, actually.
can I have like biggest fall off or something?
Oh yeah, I might have to create a new award. But now, if you could just accelerate forward a little bit.
Hang on.
Just drink more.
Drink more. I'll
There we go.
Right. Holy shit! 4 cookies for £2.50. That fucking steal.
And
Like, come on, man.
Well done, every
These
driver.
fucking Tories,
Well done,
right? Hold on,
every
let me
team.
fucking rant
Big
here,
mention
These fucking
to
Tories.
Alpine and RB. Well done, Alex, Eggy, and Nick on their fight. Well done to Morgan. Well done to Oren. Well done to Sebastian Ferrugia, champion of the world in Tier 2 Season 9.
May I say something?
And thank you everyone who's tuned in this season in 2024. We will see in the future what happens. But for now, that has been it. EXFL Tier 2.
How
The
the
9th
fuck is Bluey
installment.
there?
And we'll see you next time.